Hey guys, and welcome back to These Days. I am Jackie, and today I am joining in on a collab, and we are talking about things that stress homeschool moms out, or I'm just gonna say moms out in general, and how we combat those things. So I'm gonna go over a few things that I feel like stress me out in this certain phase and season in the last few months, and I just tell you guys how I've been combating it. This is a collaboration with Leilani over at Living with Eve. She has a really great channel. She keeps it real and keeps it funny. Be sure to check out her channel and also check out the playlist that I'm going to link below for all of the other moms who are really just talking about things that make them stressed out and the things that we can do about it and why we shouldn't be stressed out about those things. So anyway, I'm happy to be joining in on this collab. My channel is all about homeschooling, motherhood, a lot of other things in between. I would love it if you're not already subscribed to subscribe and ring the bell so that you get updates for all of my videos. So you guys know that I like my iced coffee and it is the afternoon, so you guys go grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. So I'm diving into a few things that really kind of stress me out as a mom, as a homeschool mom, and what I've done to help maybe make them a little bit better for me, and maybe even a suggestion that you could pick up from for it. My first thing that can stress me out a lot of the time, and this is something that I have only identified probably within the last couple of years, is comparison. Now, comparison gets a really bad rap, I feel like, because comparison is good. Comparison is where you can grow and where you can change things within your own life and you can get ideas from other people. So comparison isn't always a bad thing. Now, whenever we talk about it in the context of our society and social media, a lot of the time comparison gets a bad rap. But for me, comparison is something that can stress me out. It really can, without me even realizing it or not. So I really love Instagram. I've been in that world for a long time, and I used to really love perfectly aesthetic photos. I still love those, honestly. I just can't take them as well because my life isn't super aesthetically pleasing. Now, I really love this setup. That's why I set my camera here all the time. But you see these beautiful homes, you see these beautiful homeschool rooms, and you see these wonderful activities that people have done with their children, and it makes you compare yourself. It really does. Whether you're trying to compare yourself or not, you're still comparing yourself, right? So whether it's a negative or a positive thing for you, it can still cause stress. It causes me stress some. And so when I back off of social media in particular, I can feel less pressure to have the perfect photo, or I can feel less pressure to have to post on stories about what I'm doing. And it really does take the stress out. So that's one way that I combat it, is I just literally try to get off social media and almost detox myself. I've talked about that in my stories on Instagram before. Some days I'm just so busy, or we're with family, we're doing things other than just being at home in our daily life, and that is the best days for me to detox from any sort of social media comparison that I'm feeling and just kind of reset in some ways. So I'll go through phases where I am on social media a lot. It doesn't really bother me, but then I'll start kind of feeling I'm not doing enough, I'm not putting enough time into it. And then it just starts sucking the joy and the fun comes out of it. And then I start feeling stressed. So the second part of comparison is comparing myself to my past self. Do you guys do that? I compare myself to, well, a year ago I could fit into those jeans and I can't now. And it's always a negative thing generally whenever I compare myself to myself. Now, when I look at the growth that I've had in the last few years as a person, I feel okay, I'm comparing myself and it's a good comparison. And so that comparison of myself, it stresses me out. It makes me feel I have just fallen backwards, and I have to recognize that I'm in a different phase than I was last year at this time. And then once I put things into perspective, that really helps me feel less stressed. So the second thing that I feel can really cause stress for me is signing up for too much, or doing too much, or saying yes to too much. Now, I think a lot of people can relate to this, not just homeschool moms, not just moms. One cue for me with my personality and who I am, I personally, if I am already dreading something before it's even there before we're even doing it as a family or me personally. I know that I probably shouldn't have said yes. I probably should have thought about that a little more and really tried to give it like my best yes. I can get really stressed out whenever we pile too much on and whenever we're doing too much. COVID put this into perspective for me. So at the time of COVID, when it started in March, we were doing a weekly co-op. We were also going out and doing other activities during the week, and it was just too much. And COVID really slowed us down. And I'm so glad that it did, because I can see now that doing too much with the family, bringing the kids out even too much, even if it's wonderful things for them to do, stresses me out. I'm able to say yes or no better, because now with having been at home so much in the last 6 months, we really have gotten into a routine here at home, and I like it, and I think the kids do too. So just checking yourself to see if your yes is really the best thing, and the best yes is huge. Okay, so the last thing that stresses me out, especially lately, is finishing everything we need to finish in a school day. I want to finish it all, and some days we just can't. But it stresses me out, the thought of not finishing it. So what I've been doing is I've tried to give myself a little bit of grace here, because I am wrangling a 1-year-old and I have a 4-year-old who is also pretty needy, and my 6-year-old, he just sometimes really fights me on schoolwork. So I try to just take a deep breath and say, all right, we're moving on to this next thing. We'll finish that other thing up another day and just let it go. Really, I feel like that is like what I'm having to do. I'm having to let myself have grace. And that is the only way I'm combating that right now. At the beginning of the school year, when we started in July, I feel like we were knocking out like everything. So like I said, if you saw my morning basket video, I do try to do like my grammar portions with my son first. Like if we can get that done, I feel so much better with the day. So we've been doing that first, and then we've been hopping into our morning activities, reading and stuff like that, any other activities we have. That is one thing that can really stress me out, is not feeling like we got enough done during the school day. It's a work in progress. I am a work in progress. Definitely comment below. Let me know what you guys feel stressed about on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much for watching. Also, check out the playlist below. Here are some ways that other moms are combating stress through their day and things that they're stressed about. Maybe you can relate. Check out the playlist below and check out Leilani over at Living with Eve, her channel. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and come back for my next video.